Post-match analysis for Chat with Chaps, where it's just finished at the Den. Millwall 0, Leyton Orient 1. Embarrassing. Honestly, embarrassing. A dreadful performance, a dreadful night for the club, to be honest with you. To go out, again, do I really care that we've gone out? No, I really don't, if I'm honest. And to be honest, part of me is quite glad we have, because we really, and tonight's show, we don't have the bodies to play multiple games per week. So I'm kind of glad. But to go out in the manner we did and the performance we did was just a shambles. I'm coming on here straight away. Emotions are high, but it was a really poor night all round. The performance was just shocking. We also have now looks like we've lost Tom Bradshaw to injury, which only adds to our squad depth concerns. The person running on the pitch, it's just embarrassing. Like, what is going on? And then even just our reaction to it, we're so slow to react as a club. We had to get Andy Marshall to come on and tackle on it. It's just a night that is just embarrassing. And it summed up the fact that Bradshaw then got injured and we'd already made our subs, so we ended up finishing the game with 10 men. Is it a blessing in disguise? Is it a blessing in disguise? Because will that force the club deeper into the transfer market this week than they originally planned to? I don't know. I'm trying to find positives in that. I'm glad I didn't go, and I feel sorry for the fans that did. I didn't go tonight, and I actually missed the first 25 minutes because of work commitments. And obviously I turned the score on and we were 1-0 down. And from the game I did watch, we didn't have a shot on target against the side that I think are in the bottom three in League One. And that's no disrespect to Leyton Orient. They deserved it. They deserved to win tonight. They were far superior. And believe me, if we're not careful, this was a cup game. Next season, that will be our reality. Playing at home to, with the greatest respect, sides like Leyton Orient and being beaten 1-0 at home. Because trust me, we are not above that. We really, really aren't. And the club need to be listening to this. I said all summer, the squad is not good enough. And tonight, you got a damning experience of when we don't play our first string 11, what happens? The squad is not good enough. And it hasn't been for some time. We are signing League One players. A lot of people are, oh, we've had a good window. Well, have we? Because other than Japhet Tanganga, who is probably thinking, what on earth am I doing here? We're signing League One players. Liam Roberts, League One player. Lucas Jensen, League One player. Aziz, League One player. Langstaff, League Two player. We are signing League One players, and we're expecting to, yeah. You can tell I'm frustrated. But look, I'm not going to do a play-by-play because there's nothing to talk about. What I am going to talk a bit about is, I'll start off with a lineup, touch on a couple of individual performances. This is going to be a really short one, guys, because what is there to say other than it was a really poor night all round? And congratulations to Leyton Orient because they deserved it. Right, so the starting 11, no, it wasn't that. See, it was this one. Shows you just how I'm as lethargic as that performance. So the starting 11 was big changes. So Liam Roberts in goal, back four, right to left of Danny McNamara, Sean Hutchinson, captain, Murray Wallace coming at centre back, Joe Bryan left back, one of only three players to keep his place from the team that started on Saturday at Hull. George Saville was another one. Debutant Liam Kelly, Daniel Kelly started today, which I actually thought was one of the very, very few positives. But again, we'll talk about that in a moment. Idemo Maku on the left-hand side, Mr. Maku, who clearly has an agent that's crying out for him to start games. Well, he did tonight, and he certainly didn't take it. Femi Aziz on the right-hand side, another, if I'm being honest, poor performance. And then George Honeyman off Macaulay Langstaff. So that was 11 that started. And I think it's very telling that we ended up making all possible substitutions and Harris bringing on all first-teamers. To me, the only two players that come out with any credit tonight whatsoever are Daniel Kelly. As I say, I only joined over halfway through the first half, but what I did see, yeah, he made some mistakes, but he was aggressive with his press. He seemed to have a real engine on him, and he was trying to get involved, and I like that. I really like that. And then the other player for me that comes out with some credit was Romain Esse. I thought he was the only one. Yeah, okay, Ryan Leonard and Watmore tried and that when they come on, but I'm talking about really trying to take the game to them was Romain Esse. I was about to say everything we did positive went through him, but in reality, there wasn't much positive, was there? Positivity. But just really poor performances. Listen, I know neither of them have had a proper pre-season, and I appreciate that. But Murray Wallace and Sean Hutchinson as the two centre backs, that just tells you we need to know about squad depth. Where was Wes Harding, by the way? It's weird timing that an article comes out today to say he's not going to be leaving, and then he's not involved in the squad. I don't know what all that was about. Questions I can see on social media starting to get asked of Neil Harris. And after performances like that, I can understand reactions that are, maybe a bit far-fetched. Whatever the game plan was tonight, I'm sorry, but it cannot excuse the 11 players on the pitch. It was so bad. Joe Bryan got shown the runaround by Ajay, who obviously scored the goal. The goal came, I believe, I haven't seen it, but from Aziz giving it away in a stupid area. From what I saw of Aziz, he did not look on it at all. Imaku, as I said earlier, there's been a lot of noise about him to start games. I've said it on here many times before that impacting games as a sub is not the same as starting. And I think he showed tonight just his lack of positional awareness is really, really worrying. I'm worried about Sav. How is he going to go and play another 90 minutes on Saturday? Because he's going to have to, because we don't have anyone else. Unless you stick Massey in, which he's not going to do because he didn't start today. Yeah. Hadn't even ran around. And then Langstaff. Look, I think tonight we saw why maybe Neil Harris is not starting Macaulay Langstaff, because he's touched. He looked off it. He did not look like a player that could play in the Championship at the minute, if I'm being really honest. And you know me, if you listen to this enough, I don't ever come on here and bash players. And I'm not bashing players, because at the end of the day, they will play for my club and I love my club. And anyone that goes out there and pulls the shirt on, I will support them. But I have just witnessed one of the worst games I've seen. We lost 4-0 at home to Reading last season, right, in the Cup. But even then, we had 20 shots at goal. Tonight, I think we had 6, 0 on target. The performance was just horrendous. And as I said earlier, I'm just hoping that that's a blessing in disguise, because I can't see how the club can look at that and not say we need another centre-back. Yes, he's not had a pre-season, but Murray Wallace looked so out of place today. I felt sorry for him. It was that bad. We need another centre-back. We need another central midfielder. And we need at least, if Bradshaw's injured, we need 2 strikers. We know that our little black book that we open up has Lyndon Dykes in it. Well, he signed for Birmingham. He was at the game tonight, so that's definitely happened. Josh Coburn started for Middlesbrough tonight. They got battered. And this is the thing, I'm not overreacting, because I honestly couldn't have cared less if we went out the Cup tonight and we lost 2-0 at home, as long as we gave it a good go. I really don't care. What I care about is the performance. And we just looked so disjointed. We couldn't create anything. Everything we did just didn't come off. And I'm sure Neil Harris right now is going on those players a lot more than I am here. Because it was so poor. So poor. And if I'm honest, it was just an embarrassing night. Full stop. I don't really know what else to say. We need 3 or 4 players in this week. And as I say, I don't think Steve Gallen was there tonight, by the way. I am hoping he's not there because he's up in Middlesbrough or abroad somewhere tapping up some unknown striker that we are crying out. The fact that we created so little without a 32-year-old Tom Bradshaw, who's never been prolific at this level anyway, and we had no other option but to bring him on. And by bringing him on, he's now got injured. And it means that we now could be without a proper centre forward other than Langstaff, who's clearly at the moment not quite there. That just summarises it. It really is. It was a terrible day. But you know what? We'll probably beat Sheffield Wednesday on Saturday because that's just the Millwall thing to do, isn't it? So, look, I'm going to leave it there. I think I've said my piece. It was bad tonight, and I think it warrants me to come on and share my emotions. I've still tried to remain fairly level-headed. But tonight, I think you got a reality check in the sense that if we're not careful and the club do not start to invest even more so, not signing League One players, but players that can play in the Championship. By the way, how much of a difference did it make when you saw the likes of Leonard and Watmore come on and Denor? They just looked a cut above. What does that say about the rest of the depth? But that tonight, as I say, was a damning example of what could be our reality next season if we're not careful. The Harris out chants have already started. My question to you, if you're chanting for Harris out, is what other manager gets more out of this limited group of players? That'd be my question. I'm certainly not Neil Harris out. I'll make my position perfectly clear. That team that got put out tonight should have enough about them to at least take the game to Leyton Orient. You know, not muster a single shot on target the whole game. Shambles. But there we go, ladies and gents. Yes, I've got nothing more to say. This will be out. It's now 10 o'clock as I'm sitting here right now. It will be out, I would imagine, by 10:30. Thank you all for listening. This might have been painful to listen. And I don't know why you were listening, because why you want to know more about a game that was so bad. But if you have, thank you very much. And I'll see you down again on Saturday, because that's what we do. We'll always be back down there. Enjoy the rest of your week, guys. Let's hope for some signings. We need them. Tomorrow, there is a live show. I thought I'd just mention that. There's a live show that Joe will be hosting. It could be a lively one. Thanks for listening. Bye for now.